Hi everyone, here is Acta and welcome back on my YouTube channel for more content on Infinite Magicraid, and today I'm gonna show you the difference using Verto instead of Melia on the guild boss with Hisaro, Lucifer, Ben Austin and Katherine. You are gonna see that my Melia is dealing a crazy amount of damage. She is a legendary unit, one of the best in the game with three exclusives. So she has increases, she has a lot of HP burning increase thanks to all her exclusive, 25% more HP burning damage. She is doing great, but I'm gonna replace her by a Virto and try to see how much damage I can do with this. You are gonna see this is really interesting. It is doing almost the same. You're gonna see that, but before I jump into the content, as always, if you enjoy it, please like, comment and subscribe. Thank you so much. So this is the first team I'm using here. So I have my Melia, Hisaro and Lucifer with a lot of exclusive on Lucifer. He is maxed out, so he has more speed and more stats. He has a 20% more attack, HP and defense than my Hisaro. So my Hisaro here lack a bit of damage. My Melia has the 3 exclusives, so she has 10% more attack, HP and defense than my Hisaro too, but she has less speed and less stats than my Lucifer, 10% less HP, attack and defense. This is important because you are going to see there is not a huge difference between both of them and with Hisaro. So I'm using Ben Austin with a 3rd exclusive. He is really nice in this kind of content because he can use his ultimate on every turn and make all my allies pursue the target and deal 1 extra basic attack on enemies every turn. This is really nice. Also, he can lower the defense of the boss by 60%, but only when he counterattacks, because otherwise he won't use his basic attack by himself. And finally, I'm using Katherine, so she can cleanse, apply the counterattack on my units to increase their overall damage, and also apply the shield and the consolidation. So enough talk, let me run the video and see what happened during this fight. You are gonna see that all the damage of my units are great, but some are better than others. But there is not a really high difference though. Okay, and also my Lucifer has a legendary aura on him, the Shield Smash aura, which one increases his piercing rate by 8% and his attack by 16% when he has a shield. This is great, but you can compare it to the blue auras I have on Melia and Hisaro because they are really great auras. They increases the mastery by 24% for my Hisaro and my Melia. 24% mastery is a crazy amount of damage increase, and this is almost the same increase as the legendary aura I have on my Lucifer when it is not maxed out, because I don't have any star on the legendary aura on my Lucifer. So yeah, you can compare both auras. But there isn't any blue direct damage aura, which is great to use on Lucifer. You can use the one that increases his direct damage by 13% maximum. But this is not a huge increase. He will get maybe 6 million more damage on the guild boss, but using this legendary aura, he will have maybe 10 million more damage if you have enough stats during the fight. So, as you can see, all my allies can pursue the target every turn thanks to Ben Austin. They deal a lot of dots on the boss, 10 bleeds sometimes with Hisaro only, and 5 HP burnings always on the boss with Melia only. This is really nice. But I lack some good buffs on my heroes. I mean, I don't have any attack buff on my Hisaro or Lucifer. I don't have the defense down on the boss. Sometimes during the fight, maybe 2 or 3 turns, my Ben Austin will apply the defense down 60% on the boss, but not really often because he needs to counter attack in order to apply it on the boss. So this is not really optimal. And I don't have any tenacity down on the boss. It would be even better. Remember, my video, he was decreasing the boss defense and tenacity by 60% both. It was really awesome with my Lucifer to increase his direct damage, but this is not the goal of this team. And I don't have any HP, maximum HP buff on my Melia, so she doesn't have any increase in HP burning damage. But these 3 units are my 3 best DPS in the game. Single target units, I mean. So 16 turns, let me accelerate it a bit in order to show you the final result. So 152 million damage. My goal is to reach 200 million damage in one attempt, but at the moment it is not achievable, or maybe when my Hisaro will have 3 exclusives and maybe with a different kind of team, maybe with the next kind of team I'm gonna show it to you. But at the moment, maybe I lack some legendary auras. Maybe if I apply some legendary auras on my Benostin, it could be better. But at the moment, I am not able to reach the 200 million damage, and it is a nightmare against the guild boss number 6. I'm gonna do some videos in the future, but at the moment, I'm not farming it because it is way too difficult. I cannot reach more than 45 million damage in one attempt. This is really hard. So, now remember the damage of my Hisaro and my Lucifer. 40 million, 58 million. My Melia dealt 51 million damage, which is pretty nice. And that means if I replace her by Virto, I have to deal 51 million damage at least with my Hisaro and my Lucifer, 51 million more damage with them in order to deal the same amount of damage. So, time to show you my Verto now. So this is the exact same team, but now I'm using Virto instead of my Melia. 2 things about Verto. He increases the effect hit of my units by 22% with no exclusive. With the third one, he would be even better with my daughters because he would increase their effect hit by 44% if they had an attack buff on them. And he can apply an attack buff, 40% attack buff on all my units using his second ability. So it occurs really often because it doesn't have a lot of cooldowns. A high cooldown, and yeah, so he will increase the dot damage, bleed and poison damage, and also the direct damage of my Lucifer. And he has a Mastery Surge aura. He plays right after all my units, so my Hisaro will have the Mastery Surge buff on him, increasing his mastery by 8% right before when the boss will attack. And this is important, so it will increase the damage, the dot damage my Hisaro is gonna deal on the boss. So, enough talk, let's run the fight and see what happens. So, on the first turns, Hisaro has to buff himself right here. As you can see, he has only 40% more dot damage now. So, this is not really optimal at the moment. So as you can see, the boss is taking also a crit rate down 25%, so it can also help you to sustain during the fight, so it is interesting. He can lower his effect hit, but I don't have enough resistance on my units in order to resist the debuffs of the boss. But my Katherine and my Benostin are here to cleanse the control, and my Katherine is here to cleanse the attack down that I have on my units right here, as you can see. So, with the attack buff on my Lucifer, he deals a crazy amount of damage, as you just saw. This is really interesting. And look at the bleed damage dealt by my Hisaro. This is so great. So, 52 million damage in 8 turns. This is almost the same as my previous team, okay? But now I don't have Melia. 6 bleeds on the boss, 8 bleeds on the boss. Look at the damage he's gonna take. 459k bleeds per bleed. This is really, really nice. Look at this, 459k damage per bleed. This is incredibly high. So if my Ben Austin can apply the defense down, we can have a look to the maximum damage my Lucifer can deal. It will be really interesting. I don't remember if I could apply the defense down on the boss on this run. Almost 100 million damage, 13 turns, more than 100 million damage. This is so great. Defense down on the boss, and my Lucifer, okay, he doesn't have the attack buff on him at the moment. So maybe right, okay, now look at the damage of my Lucifer. He has the attack buff 40% and the boss has both feebleness 2 and defense down 2. So my Lucifer is gonna hit really, really hard. 833k damage per basic attack. Look at this. He does it 3 times. This is so great. This is so great. Okay, so the damage are increasing a lot now. 134 million damage in 17 turns. Can I do better than with my Melia? It is almost done, and I'm close to the damage I dealt with my previous team with Melia. Okay, only 1 turn remaining. 3 million damage, huge. And look at the final result, it is better than with my Melia. Look at the damage of my Hisaro and my Lucifer. This is so great. My Hisaro dealt 24 million more damage than before, and my Lucifer was at 58 million, so he dealt 30 million more than before. So I got an increase of 54 million damage using Virto on Hisaro and Lucifer. This is so great. I'm using an epic unit right here, and it is better than my Melia. I really love it. He is doing great, but if I had Slivel, she would deal maybe a 20 million or 30 million damage, I don't know, and she would increase my attack of both Lucifer and Hisaro by 40%, so probably she would increase my overall damage right here. And also, I don't have a lot of auras on Hisaro, no legendary auras on all my units, only on my Lucifer, so I have a really high, I can increase the potential of my team. This is the best shot I ever made on the guild boss 5 at the moment. So now let me show you the stats of my units. So this is my Verto. It is important that your Verto plays right before the boss, but right after all your units, so he will, you will get the bonus in attack on your daughters if you are using bleeders and poisoners, so the boss will take more damage if your allies that applied dots on the boss have the attack bonus when the boss plays. Acts. This is really important. So I have on him some nice defensive stats. Maybe if I build him with some crit rate and attack percent, let me have a look. No, he doesn't deal that much damage, so it wouldn't make the difference. So I have a lot of effect hit on him, so he can apply some nice some debuffs on the boss really often. I'm using him with 2 hit sets with these emblems, so he is more tanky. If you need more speed, you can use this one instead, it would be better. And I have this aura on him, so he can increase the mastery of my units. I have a lot of potential here. I can increase my damage using bleeds by a lot, because I lack 10% mastery here. Then this is my Hisaro. I have a mastery set and an effect hit set. I have more speed than my Verto and more speed than the boss. I have a lot of attack, 35k, a decent amount of effect hit and mastery right here. This is all you need on him, okay? And I'm using him with these emblems, so he deal more direct damage and more dot bleed damage using this emblem, more mastery and everything that increases his bleed damage, his dot damage. And also the defensive tab here, but maybe you can, if you use him only on the guild boss, you can use the support one in order to increase his effect hit and lower the cooldown of his skill. Probably using this you will deal more damage during the fight. But I'm also using him in dungeons at the moment, so this is the reason why I built him more tanky. I'm using this aura on him, so it increases a lot his mastery. And this is all for about him. Now this is my Melia. I'm running her with an accuracy set and a mastery set. She has a decent amount of HP, but it would be better if she had more than 500k. But I lowered her HP in order to get more speed. As you can see now, I have more speed than the boss. I have a lot of effect hit and a huge amount of mastery. This is really important on her. I'm running her with a crit rate here, but you don't care about attack and crit rate, so take what you want, whatever you want. Mastery here and everything that increases the dot damage, and the defensive tab here, but same comment as before. If you want to increase your damage against the guild boss, if you are not planning to use her in dungeons, you don't need that much tankiness on her, so maybe it's better to take some effect hit and this one to lower the cooldown of her skill. But it's enough. With the third exclusive she can always apply 5 HP burning on the boss, so it is enough. You don't need to lower her cooldowns. I'm using the same aura as my Hisaro on her, 24% more mastery. This is really optimal. Then this is my Lucifer. I'm using him with a crit set and a wild set with a crazy amount of attack. A lot of speed, thanks to the 5 exclusive on him, he get 100% speed bonus, so this is huge. I have a lot of crit damage, crit rate and attack, but I don't need more than 70% crit rate, because when he is stealth, he will always deal a crit damage, inflict a crit on the enemies. So this is enough. I'm using him with these emblems, with more crit damage and everything that increases direct damage on him, and with the defensive tab, so he is more tanky for dungeons and arena. And I'm using this legendary aura on him, only level 10, but it increases a lot his piercing rate and damage attack percent when he has a shield. Then this is my Ben Austin. I have a feather set and speed set on him. He is a bit tanky, but you don't need this crazy amount of tankiness here. You just need more speed than the boss and than your other units, but a bit less speed than your Katherine. So if he is stunned, she can control him, cleanse him. So this is important. And some effect hit in order to apply sometimes the defense down on the boss. I'm using him with these emblems, so he has more speed and he can reduce the cooldowns of his skills. It is important to have this if you don't have the third exclusive, so he will have more often his ultimate normally. I'm using him with no aura at the moment. If you can afford a legendary aura, you can use this one on him. It will increase all the damage of your units when he will use his ultimate. And this is a great one, so I'm trying to farm the runes at the moment in order to get it. I won't get it maybe, I will get it maybe in 1 or 2 weeks, farming the stage 23 in the faction abyss at the moment. It will take some time, but I will end up to have this, so I will make another video about him when I have him. But you don't have any more auras that are great to use here. Only legendary auras on him are great for this kind of content. Otherwise in arena I was using the speed one because the speed on him is really important in the arena. Otherwise no other aura can increase the potential of your heroes. Maybe the mastery surge aura, but he is faster than your other units, so they will lose the buff right before the boss acts, so they won't get an increase in damage. That was all for him. And finally my Katherine here, feather set and speed set, a lot of tankiness but it's not needed, and a lot of speed, so she is the fastest in my team, faster than the boss, a lot of effect hit, a bit of effect hit, sorry, so she can heal more using her passive and this aura. And I'm running her with these emblems, with more speed, this is important. So that was all for the video, I hope you enjoyed it. If it's the case, as usual, please like, comment and subscribe, and then see you in the next one. Bye bye!
Infinite Magicraid. Play to slay.